Today, Arsenal Football Club operates as a global institution, broadcasting to hundreds of millions from a state-of-the-art stadium in North London. The foundation was laid in the biting winter of 1886, amidst the soot and steam of the Royal Arsenal Iron Munitions factory in Woolwich. Inside these gates, 15 factory workers pooled their spare shillings to buy a single leather football. They named their team Dial Square, playing their first match on a local marshland. For these laborers, the bruising sport provided a reprieve from 60-hour work weeks and the relentless physical toll of 19th-century industrial labor. The harsh conditions of the factory floor established a baseline of resilience, a standard of grit that would be called upon repeatedly as the club transitioned from a local hobby into a professional entity. By the early 20th century, the club had hit a ceiling in Woolwich. Hemmed in by poor transport links and stagnant gate receipts, the team faced bankruptcy unless they could find a more accessible home. This map illustrates the solution. In 1913, the club abandoned its ancestral home, crossing the River Thames to establish a new presence in the heart of North London. Relocating meant leaving their original community behind, but it was the only way to transform the side from a struggling local outfit into a major footballing institution. Their new home was Highbury. Surrounded by Victorian housing, this ground became an imposing fortress where the club would build its first great era. In 1925, the club appointed Herbert Chapman. He was a manager who viewed football with the rigorous logic of an engineer, and he arrived determined to modernize every aspect of the game. This diagram shows Chapman's innovative WM formation. By pulling the center half back into a dedicated defensive role, he created a rigid structure that allowed Arsenal to dominate English football throughout the 1930s. Chapman's influence extended to the kit itself. He added white sleeves to the red shirts specifically to help his players identify one another more quickly on the pitch through their peripheral vision. Beyond the trophies he secured, Chapman engineered the modern identity of the Gunners, mandating that the club remain at the absolute forefront of technical evolution. The middle of the century tested that identity. The club endured the devastation of World War and prolonged periods without silverware. During these decades, the team survived by relying on a stubborn physical toughness. They ground out results through winter storms and on deteriorating pitches, refusing to be pushed out of the top flight. That resilience finally culminated in 1971. In a single week of high-stakes matches, Arsenal secured both the league title and the FA Cup, completing their first historic double. This achievement demonstrated that the club's foundational durability could still yield the highest level of national success. In 1996, the club turned to Arsène Wenger. An unknown intellectual from the French League, he arrived with a plan to completely rewire the club's sporting philosophy. Wenger replaced the traditional focus on defensive rigidity with a system built on dietary discipline, data analysis, and a commitment to fluid, attacking play. He recruited athletes like Thierry Henry, players who possessed the speed to outrun entire defenses while maintaining the composure to finish with clinical precision. This style relied on technical masters like Dennis Bergkamp, who used incredible close control to navigate tight spaces and unlock the most stubborn defensive lines in the country. Wenger's era proved that aesthetic beauty and competitive winning were compatible, forever changing the expectations of the English game. The pinnacle of this philosophy was achieved during the 2003-2004 season. It was a campaign that pushed the limits of what was considered possible in modern sports. This timeline tracks 38 matches played over 9 months. The squad recorded 26 wins and 12 draws against the most competitive teams in the world. The final column remained empty, 0 matches lost. This group of players managed to navigate an entire league season without a single defeat, earning them the permanent title of the Invincibles. That feat remains unrepeated. It secured this team's place not just as champions of their era, but as permanent figures in footballing history. Eventually, even the hallowed grounds of Highbury reached a breaking point. The stadium's limited capacity created a financial bottleneck that threatened the club's ability to compete with Europe's rising superpowers. In 2006, the club opened the Emirates Stadium. This massive glass and steel arena provided the matchday revenue required to sustain a world-class squad in the modern era. Today, top-flight football is an arms race of global broadcasting rights and massive commercial partnerships. To remain a contender, the club had to expand its infrastructure. The move to the Emirates represents a commitment to the future, a refusal to allow the club's history to become a limitation on its ambition. Managers change, stadiums are built anew, and local roots grow into global fan bases. Yet the core identity of the club remains centered on the same relentless pursuit of excellence. The trophies collected across these 3 centuries stand as a testament to the club's ability to adapt and succeed in every era of the game. That endurance is captured in the club's Latin motto, Victoria Concordia Crescit, victory through harmony. From 15 factory workers in Woolwich to the global heights of the Emirates, Arsenal's story is proof that greatness is built when unyielding grit is guided by visionary innovation.